So then we come down to this idea of happiness, because this is what clients want, right? This is what they're after. Everybody wants to be happy. If you ask anybody, do you want to be happy? They go, of course. And most people, if you ask them for a value of what's most important for them and that they would like to be, they're going to say something around happiness. So you could say that as coaches, this is what we're doing in a sense. We are helping the client to be more happy, to achieve happiness. And the way, of course, that clients think about being happy mostly is they want to, they set goals, right? We all set goals. We set goals of what we want. And then we think, okay, if I can just, get this or do this or stop this or change this, then I will be happy or happier than I am at the moment. And that's what we, of course, do as coaches. We help people to achieve their goals. And through this, hopefully, they become happier. And yet, if you think about it, and if you ask people, what does it mean to you to be happy? What do you need to be happy? You're going to get a huge variety of answers in terms of content, in terms of if I could do this, if I had this, if I achieved this, if I lived here, if I had a bigger house, bigger car, whatever it might be. So there's a huge number of things, different sorts of things that will make people happy. And I think that's interesting because really, if you think about it, and this has been my experience, that the feeling of happiness that you get is the same. Whatever it is that you get, that you want, and you feel happy, that feeling that's generated by that is the same feeling, regardless of all the different things that may have happened in order to generate that. And that leads me to suspect that perhaps happiness is more something inside us that's triggered or created or just there waiting to pop out in answer to what happens out there, as it were, when we get our goals out there. So keep that thought in mind. The happiness that we feel is the same, even though the things that trigger it for us can be quite different. Anything from a train set when you were 8 years old, a wonderful toy when you were 8, your first mobile phone maybe in your teens, when you perhaps move into an apartment or a house that you wanted, when you marry, all sorts of these things. You'll feel happiness, but it's the same happiness. Another way of thinking about happiness, or rather, when we do think about happiness, I think that there's some confusion sometimes